Another game review. This time it's a loss. As you can see, I played with black. My accuracy was 82%. The accuracy of the opponent was almost 86%. We both did a blunder and a few mistakes, but it has been a nice game. Let's start with the review. D4, D5, F3, F6, all book moves. Now white plays H3, which is a decent move. Probably he doesn't want my bishop in G4. I continue with E6, C4 by white, and here I decide to take, which is still good. The engine wants me to push in C5 because after these okay. Knight in C3. This is not a great move, it's an inaccuracy. The engine prefers this one. Even if after this my knight can go only in D7, I don't know how to develop my bishop. Let's see how the engine wants to continue. Yes, probably this one. I see. And the bishop here, castle, and now bishop here. Kicking the knight as well. With this. Okay, back to the game. Okay, pawn in c5, bishop in g5, pinning my knight. I kick the bishop. What's the tactic here? Why can't I take with this? Because after this okay, but the position is still equal, so now I develop my knight. I'm threatening to capture the pawn in d4, e3 by white to protect the pawn in d4. Here I want to develop, I want to finish development and castle. Castle, b6 to protect the pawn in c5, jump with the knight. I don't want the knight to land in c7, so at first I kick it with the pawn. White brings back the knight in c3. I can fianchetto the bishop. This white moves the rook on a semi-open file. And here I want to trade some pieces because the position is complicated. I am down on the clock. As you can see, I have 6 minutes and 45 seconds, and the opponent has 8 minutes and 17 seconds. So I want to simplify the game because otherwise I will lose on time. White decides to take with the bishop, I take back with the pawn. Pawn in d4 takes the pawn in c5. I take with the bishop. Knight takes in d5. And here the engine says you had a better way to offer an equal trade of pieces, but actually I want to trade pieces and exchange queens in this position, and that's what I did. Okay, that's what I did after. This isn't good. Okay. Rook in 7th rank. I want to exchange rooks. If white moves the rook in the A file, I can push the pawn. This move is inaccuracy because the rook is not attacking really anything because that pawn is protected by the bishop, so I bring my rook on the 2nd rank. White attacks my bishop with the pawn. I bring back the bishop, forcing the exchange. Here white decides to capture the pawn in b6, but now I can capture the bishop, and white now has 3 pawns on the f file. Oh, I see this mistake. I see why. Because after this, these pawns are doubled, and it's easy for me to play against those pawns. Instead, I didn't see that move. I was uncertain at that moment. Yes, probably the better option was to capture the pawn in h3 here. Because now the king gets closer to my rook. I have to move the rook or bring the other rook into the game. White pushes the b pawn. I can capture the a pawn and exchange rooks. White brings the rook behind his passed pawn. I get closer with the king. I come back with the rook. I put the rook in front of the pawn. I go with the king in the 7th rank, and I get closer and closer to the passed pawn, and now I capture the pawn with the rook. So now, as you can see, the engine says that this is a drawish position, But of course, it's a drawish position if you know how to play chess. And since this is amateur level chess, everything can still happen, and it will, as you can see, as you will see shortly. Now it's a sort of dance of kings because at a certain point every move by the pawns would be a blunder, would be a mistake. So the game is the goal of this end game is to don't screw up with the king. As you can see, I want to avoid that the king can take my pawns, and likewise white wants to stop me from getting his pawns. Pawn in h5, pawn in f6 and check. The king has to move. I move. The king move. All the best moves here. And now this was a misclick because here my idea, I play this, which is a blunder. Instead, my idea is to go here with the king, which is the best move. And here the game can continue basically forever, because now the king try to come here. I can go here. Yes, and this is a draw. But unfortunately, I misclicked and played this move, which is a clear blunder because white can capture with the f pawn, and I can stop the g pawn to promote. This is an inaccuracy. The best move according to the engine is to go here with the king to get the f pawn, but the game is lost because I can stop this pawn in 2 moves. This pawn will be promoted to queen, and even if I can make a pass pawn. I can make the f pawn a pass pawn. I won't be able to get it to promotion. So here the game is already over. 10 more moves where I was hoping for a stalemate, but white played the best moves, and eventually I had to resign. Actually, not much to learn from this game because it was a draw, and I basically I lost because of a misclick, and so. Let me see. Okay, here probably I should have been greedy and take this, and after this I go back with the rook, push, and now here. Yes. I can push this pawn. Push. The rook is threatening my pawn here. It's a difficult game to win now. I think that in the end, even if I lost in the end game, White played a lot better than me. This is a well-deserved loss. Here, here. This is an error. Yes. Even if this is still good. Here, something to. This position is a mess. I don't even know what's the queen pawn opening. Okay, but we are already out of theory because that h3 move is not a book move, and this is c4, c4. Maybe this. I can bring out. This is like a French defense. And now this. I bring out. Okay, that's all for this review. See you in the next video. Ciao ciao.